Morning, Sumit.
So today we will see one important concept which is page object model, which is a design pattern in Selenium. So let me write it here. Let me write it. What is page object model in Selenium? So basically it is a design pattern for writing a test case so that for each web page we will create a page class and we will maintain all the or particular page to that page. Sorry. So what I mean here, and basically today we have to see what is uh, page object model, which is a design pattern in Selenium. So just do not think about the definition as of now. When I will do it practical, you will understand a lot. So what I'm trying to do, let me first create one Maven project. So I hope you all know how to create a Maven project. So right click new project and here click on Maven project, click on next and just click on next again. So there are so many. You can choose this one, Maven. So I am choosing this one, right? Click on next. So here you can give any name, page object, model, pattern. So that will create one project for me. So some people here are from the weekday batch. Can anyone tell me that in weekday batch STNG basics are covered or not?
Not yet.
Not only a single one.
No, we started with Maven and then testing is pending.
Okay, okay. So basically in the coming class of weekday, we will discuss about TestNG. As of now, I will just going to have one concept from TestNG. So what it is? So Maven is already covered, I think. So first, let us get the dependency. So if I open this website, Maven repository. So first of all, I will get the Selenium dependency. So let me get the Selenium one. So this looks stable, or this one. Let me choose this one. This is our project. If remember, this is the name I have given. So in the pom.xml file, so I do not want this one. So let me remove this and here paste the Selenium dependency. So it will pull all the Selenium jars for me. And similarly, And similarly, I will going to use one concept from TestNG. So what is TestNG framework and what are the use of the TestNG? We will discuss from the start. But here, just for explanation purpose, I will say TestNG. I want to get the TestNG jar file. So click this. Here, paste the TestNG. So save the. So once we will save the project, so some error is coming. Let me delete this file. Okay. So what I will do, I will first create one test case. So let me take one website, which is Amazon website. This is your Amazon website. So in this source test Java, I will going to write my each and every test case file. So let me create one test case. The class will be Amazon test case. So give it like this. And here, what I will do, see, we are working with TestNG. If you see here, I am using this TestNG. So those who are not clear with the TestNG, in TestNG, if we need to write any test case, instead of providing public static void main, earlier we used to do like this, but we can now use TestNG. There is one @test which is associated with the TestNG, and if you write any test case, like if I say public void test case number T1, and if I print something, hello. So if I print it, so first import the package, import this. Now if I run this, this is my TestNG test case T1. This is the test case name, and this is the some data which I am printing. So in test case, I am not going to use public static void main. I will use @test. So this is called as annotation, right? So if I come up, you can say it is same. Test case number T1 is passed, and this is the output. Similarly, if I want to provide one more test case, I will say test case number T2, and here I will say hello, hi, some output. So as we are working with TestNG, so this is how I will give. So you can see two test case passed. These are the test case name T1 and T2, and these are the output. So now let us try to invoke one browser. So basically we are working with Maven. So if you type here, earlier we used to write system.set property, and we have to give the path of our Chrome driver, right? There is one web driver manager. If you hit this and go to the first link and go to the latest version and copy this. Once after copied, just come here in the prompt.xml file, and in the dependencies parent tag, provide this as well. So provide and save the file. So once it will save, it will download some files. And if you come here, now suppose I want to launch Amazon website. So let me remove this again. @test public void Amazon home. So this is our Amazon home page. So this is the reason I'm giving Amazon home. So if you need to run the Chrome browser and open this URL. So earlier we used to write like this, if you remember, system.set property like this. Here I have to write webdriver.chrome.driver. But since we are working with Maven, you do not need to write like this. What we will do, uh, as we are as we have included this file. Sorry, which one? Okay, let me do one thing. So I have copied the file, but it is not here. Let me copy again. This file, if I copy this dependency,
Yeah, you didn't paste it.
sorry.
I said you didn't paste it over
Okay,
here.
okay. So let me paste it here, save it. So now there is one class we are getting from this dependency, which is WebDriver Manager dot. So here, if you see, if you want to run your test case on Chrome browser, you can use this method. If you want to run your test case on Chromium browser, you can use this one. Microsoft Edge, Firefox, similarly Internet Explorer, Opera Mini, right? So this Phantom JS is also a web browser. So I want to run a Chrome browser, so I will say Chrome driver dot setup. So now you do not need to write system.set property and give the path of .exe file. So inside this class, it will have all the .exe file which are needed to run our Chrome browser. So after that, just say WebDriver driver equals to new. This you have to give anyways, but system.set property you do not have to give every time. So just import the package. So import the package for this. So I say driver.get. So I want to launch this Amazon website. So here I will provide this, and if I run it, it will run in the same fashion. Browser will be open and this website will be open. So you can give this single line if you are working with Maven. So that will be a lot more easy instead of giving system.set property. So we have not yet discussed page object model. So till now it is clear to everyone.
I have one doubt. Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah. For Maven only, we are using the manager, web manager, right? And for other, we have to set the properties, right? If we are not using the Maven.
can you repeat again?
To launch a website with the Maven, we are using this web manager, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And if we are not using Maven, then we have to write all these set properties and
yeah, yeah.
path of this
Same,
exe.
same. Yeah.
Interesting.
Sumit Prasad here.
Yeah, hi Prasad.
Uh, Previous, you executed two test cases, T1 and T2.
Yeah, yeah.
Suppose example, I want to execute only T2. How can I execute?
I am saying that once you will. Okay, so let me show it. See, you are
Okay.
in weekday batch, right?
Yes.
See, I am saying that in when weekday class will happen in the coming weekday, then we will again learn the test engine from the beginning. So let me
Okay, no issue.
show you again.
No issue. No.
If you want to run only T1, so where is T1? So this is T1. If I
T1,
do not
T2.
want to run this test case, so this is one way. If you say enabled equals to false, so all this we will discuss in detail, but
Okay.
not now. So if you do like this, it will not run T2, it will only run T1. So if I see the output, so it has only run.
Example, after T2, one more test case is a T3. So
Yeah,
that also it will execute that time.
yeah. If there is one more test case T3 like this, it will execute.
Can you do it?
So if I show you, let me write public void T3. T3 run it. So I'm saying just do not run this test case by setting enabled equals to false. So all the methods will run. All the test case we are saying it as a test case here. So T1 and
Okay.
T3 run. Okay. So we will discuss all that again. Do not worry.
Okay, no.
Just
No
as of
problem.
now, consider this one at the rate test. So if you want to run any test case in testng, you have to write this at the rate test before the method.
Okay.
So let me write Amazon one again. So this is my Amazon. So import. Okay. So now we were discussing. So now we were discussing what is page object. So some error is coming. Okay, we were discussing what is page object model. So if I come to this source main Java, let me delete this file and I will create one more package. No. You can use the existing package as well. Just let me give some other name. Object repository. So suppose if you want to, there are so many web element. This is a web element. This is a web element. This all the data which you are seeing here, all the button, all the images are the web element, right? This is also web element. So suppose I want to perform the data on several web element here. So what I will do first, I will create for this web page. This is the Amazon homepage. For this homepage, I will create object repository. What does that mean? If I come to this is our Amazon homepage. Suppose I want to enter some data here. So what I will do, I will inside this I will create one class which is Amazon home. So if I inside this, what I will do. So what is our first one? I want to enter some data into this text box. So first let us see what is the locator for this text box. So if I see it is hash ID. So hash ID means CSS. If I say hash ID, so this is a unique CSS.
Sumit, we are getting background noise continuously.
Is it for everyone? Is it too much? Actually,
Yeah.
it's my laptop fan. I think it is overheating. That's why.
Oh, okay.
But it is. I think still you are able to hear my voice. It is not that much.
Yeah, I can hear. Yeah.
Is it clear for everyone?
In between, it's continue.
Yeah, Sumit, please continue. I mean, it's not. We can. It's you are audible.
It's hello.
Yeah, please continue. You are audible.
Okay. I will try to speak little bit loud. So I'm saying this is the unique CSS. So I will copy this CSS and what I will do here. So this is our test case. Test case source. Whatever the test case I will write here. And whatever the object repository, what is this object repository? You will get to know soon. So what I will do for each and every. So first is text box. So I will say by dot CSS by dot. So if I first let me write web driver.
Sumit, your screen cannot open.
Hey Mega, why you are presenting? Mega, please stop your presentation. My screen is visible to everyone. Actually, someone started presenting their own screen. That's why. Hello.
No, your screen is not visible.
Not visible.
We're
Let me
not
share.
seeing your screen. No, not visible.
Let me share again. Now.
Now okay.
Yeah, now it's visible.
Give me a minute. Okay. So if I import the package,
Sumit,
but
you didn't say tetrate test. Is it not mandatory?
is it? Sorry.
Mandatory? I mean, you didn't say tetrate test like that.
Here.
Yeah, like that.
See,
You didn't say.
if you do not define this, it will not run. See, if I remove this, now if you try to run,
No.
what you are seeing, if I
In the. Hmm.
if I run this, it should not run. It is showing. So some error is coming,
Okay.
but that error is from here. Let me try to.
Sumit, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I think we haven't gone through testing these, so I think that's why we have a lot of questions here, right? So it's difficult to catch up if you're doing a page object model without
Your
understanding the
voice is
test.
not clear. Can you write it in the chat box, Abdul?
Yeah, and right.
See, if I try to run without the test, some error is coming. What is the error? So you can say test run 0 because to this method you are not providing any @test, so it will be not treated as a test case and it will not run. So it is mandatory to provide @test here.
Okay.
So let me write @test @test. So we will not discuss anything about test in the mode. Just see if we need to run any test case, we have to provide this and provide the method. So that will be treated as a test case. So
Okay.
what I'm trying to do here, I'm not getting suggestions.
Here you didn't write tetrate test, right?
Sorry,
In this. In this, you didn't write tetrate test.
there.
Here. No. In the now. I mean, now we are doing one test case, right, for Amazon Home. Yeah, here. You didn't provide a Amazon iterate test.
No, here we do not have to create the test case. That's why I'm not writing.
This is different from before earlier one.
See here, this is our actual test case, and here only
Okay.
I'm going to write my test case with the @test.
Okay.
Here I
Okay.
here what I do in this all the like we are working on Amazon test case. So for this
Hmm.
Amazon test case, if I want to enter some data here, so first I will make sure that this text box XPath I will write here so that we can identify all that object related things, all that web element related things. I will write into this object repository package. So here I'm
Oh,
writing.
okay.
So I will
Okay,
not going
fine.
to right. So here we are not
Okay, okay,
getting
got it.
suggestions. So by is a class. Somehow I'm not getting the suggestion. Let us try to. Abdullah has written it or not? So Abdul, I think Maven is already completed in the weekday.
No, we only gave introduction. I mean, how to install that.
See, so let me explain you a bit about Maven as well. So basically, so you all know that how to create a Maven project or not?
Yeah.
So what I'm doing in this form.xml file, just see this one. There is one dependency stack from here to here. Automatically, you will get this dependency stack. So here, suppose I want to work with Selenium. So I go to their official website. This is the official website, and here I just say Selenium. So what will happen if I paste the Selenium dependency tag data here? So I will do, I will go to this. So I am not choosing this one because these are not stable, right? This one and all the previous one are stable. So let me choose this one. You can choose any other. So I will copy this and paste it here. So what will happen once I paste this? Once I click on save, so here if you see this folder, there is some Selenium. There are many jar files, right? So some of them are Selenium one as well. So this is the test.ng Selenium one, right? So what this jar file are, earlier we used to right click the project and provide all the jar files externally. But with the help of Maven, all the jar files will be pulled from this central repository. So we do not have to worry. So this is basically I am doing in case of Maven. And coming to this @test, which is the test.ng, I am saying that just understand this. If you want to run any test case in test.ng, provide @test. So this all we have to discuss. We are not going to discuss any other thing as of now. So any test case you have to write here, just write @test. If I want to write any other test case, I can again provide @test and some different name. So just we have to check this and just right click run as test.ng test. And one more thing, if you see this one test.ng test coming here. So first, when you are doing it for the first time, go to this Eclipse Marketplace. So first you have to download one plugin. So go to this one. I am already having it, so I will find it here. But you can search from here. So let me search it. So here if I search, just say Eclipse. Sorry, not Eclipse, it is test.ng. We are working with test.ng. Search it, search the test.ng. And here you will get one plugin. You have to install that. So you can see. So here, when you will do it for the first time, you will get this test.ng for Eclipse. Just click on install. I am already having it. So after you will click on install, you have to click on next every time, and after that it will ask you to restart your Eclipse editor. So just install this, then you will see what I'm talking about. You will see this test.ng test here, right? So we will not discuss anything about test.ng as of now. Just see I have created one Amazon test case by writing @test class, and here what I will do, I need to perform. There are so many web elements on this Amazon website. So many web elements there. Text box, button, all these, this one, fashion, today's deal. So every data is present here. I want to perform some operation on this text box, which is writing some data. So instead of providing the locator here, instead of providing the locator in our actual test case, I can write here driver dot find element like this. But I will not write it here. I will first do one thing. I will create object repository of that particular Amazon website, Amazon homepage. So what I will say, by dot CSS selector. So this by is a class, right? This is a class. This is a class, and this is also a class. So I'm calling one static method, and the return type will be by. So you can also do like this. And here inside this, I will write the locator. So the locator is this. This is a CSS. So copy this and paste it here. Save it. So now, if I want to perform some operation on this text box, I will not going to write the entire locator here. I will going to get all the locator from this file. Similarly, if you want to, you can say click on search button. Suppose if I write mobile, after that I will click on search button. So for that search button, first I will write any locator. You can use any locator, it's up to you. So let me take ID again, hash, sorry, hash ID. So let me refresh it. So this is the ID, hash. Let me try again. So if I copy this ID, hash, okay, now it is highlighting. So it is correct match. So it is again a CSS. So copy this. And if I want to perform any operation in my test case on this search button, I will not write. I will just create the repository here. So what is the button? It is search button. So this is any name you can give, right? So I am giving the, because it is search box. So let me write search box, and this is you can say search button. And here I will say by dot. You can use XPath as well. You can use link text as well. But here I'm only using CSS. So CSS, provide the CSS. So now these two, to save it. Okay. Someone is on unmute. Please mute yourself. Some noise is coming. So now these two operation I have to perform here. So what I can do, I can create public methods for that. What does that mean? To access these two web element I want to access, what I can say public void, like I can say enter data in search box. So some name I am giving, and one more I will create for the search button, public void search button. And here, so public p is small. And after that, what I will say, so this is our web driver, and here I will say driver dot find element, and here it is asking for this. But if you see this variable, again this whole variable have this line. Earlier we used to write this full line here, if you remember, like that we used to write, right? But now every, whatever this CSS selector is there for this search box, this variable, let me just plug in the charger, give me a minute. So what we have done, instead of writing this by.css selector here entirely, I will just write this variable. So that is the same thing. So if I write it, and provide this. Similarly, here as well in the search button, I will just write this variable. So I have written this, and I will also provide return statement. So basically I'm returning this web element. So these two methods I will call from this test case, right? So you will see how we are going to do that. So as of now it is throwing one error. So change the return type. So it is saying change the return type to web element. Why it is saying? Because this whole thing is again a web element, right? So again, let me change it here as well. If I say return this one. Now, if you see this, suppose if I want to in future, if I want to perform, uh, if I want to click on mobile. So if I want to click on mobile, so let me write some locator for that. So let me copy like this using selector sub. So we all know that how we can create XPath, but for saving some time, I am copying this. So let me copy this and try to search it here. So it is very big. So let me create my own XPath. It is very, very big. So instead of doing this, I will start from here. There. Now we are here. And suppose I want to go, I'm going to write a CSS, A of select of type 1. So now we are here. If I want to go to second, I will go to mobile. So I will set this for the mobile. This is the text. So if I want to click on mobile, again I want to perform some operation on one web element. So in the same fashion, I will give it for the mobile. Mobile equals to by dot CSS selector. For the mobile, this is the CSS selector. And for that mobile as well, I will create one public method so that we can call the method from our test case and access these web element. So like if I create public void, you can say mobile.
Sumit, you have taken the text path, no? So why you are writing the CSS selector?
What I've taken?
X path you have taken, no?
No, this is the CSS double slash is not here. You can see.
Okay. If
If
you go that double slash means it is a X path.
yeah, there is no double slash and not at the rate.
Okay.
So you can revise the previous video if you want, right? So here I'm using CSS, only CSS. You can use XPath as well if you want. So for the mobile one, I will again say this whole statement, but here this time this will come. So basically, if you are getting any other web element in future, if you want to perform some operation on the web element in the near future, you are going to define all the web element and create the object repository at one file. So this is our Amazon homepage. So for the Amazon homepage, this is our Amazon homepage test case. So for that, I have created one file with the name like this, and all the web element I am placing here. So what is the advantage we will discuss at the end, that what is the advantage we will get if I do like this instead of the normal way. So now if I save it, so again web element will be the return type because it will. See, you might be wondering that why the return type is web element. See here, if I just write like this instead of doing this, if I write driver dot find element by dot css or xpath, so if I can capture that in one variable which is of type web element, right? Import the package. So this is the reason I'm writing this, right? So if you can see, so the return type is web element only. So this is the reason I'm saying web element, and here for the method as well, the return type will be web element. So if I save it, so now I am here again. I think why error is coming, save it. Okay. So what I will do, I will create the object of this class in my test case. So here is my actual test case. All my test case, when we will discuss the framework, in our framework as well, all the test case I will write here. So this is basically the pattern, and you should write all the page object here, right? So here this is one page object. So here I have written, and if I create the object of this class, what I can do, how we can create the object. So Amazon home, this is our Amazon home page home. Let me write home equals to new. If I try to first, let me import the imported. So it is present Amazon home. This is our class name.
Method name is also Amazon family because of that. See the class name here.
What you are saying?
The method name is also Amazon from here. You see the method
Okay, I
name.
think yeah, that is the issue. So let me say test case, some different name. That's why it is throwing one error. Thanks for reminding. So now we will import. So this is coming from this package, right? So I've imported this class, and now what you want to do after you open the website, I want to enter some data into my text box, into this text box on the top. So earlier we used to write each and every locator like this: driver dot find element, by dot css locate css selector or xpath. Then you will use send keys and enter some data like this. But now we have placed each and every locator in every web element inside this class. So what I will do, I will come here and instead of doing like this, we will do it in the page object style. So I will say object. So if you come here, if I say dot, so you can see. So enter data. So this is the method I have created, if you remember. So if you see this, enter the data in the search box. So let me put debugger. We will try to debug for the first time. So I am saying once you will get this web element, you can also do like this if you want. First, you can capture that in one web element box, and after that you can say box dot send keys. It's your call how you have to do. You can say watches. So let us debug this program, how it is working for the first time. Let me place debugger here, and let me put debugger here as well. Here, right? So if I try to debug, so just come here to this Amazon test case, right click. Earlier we were running it, but now we are debugging it. So debug as test engine. So our project, our code will stop at line number 24. So you can say website open. Due to this step, website is open. Now we are creating the object. So this will create the object. Now what we are trying to do, from this object, I am calling this method. This is the method. So this is the method. So I placed a debugger, so it will stop here. So if I place one more, so now it is here. So if you see this driver do not have any life. Why this driver do not have any life? because the actual driver object is here. If you see this, which is our, once I am running it from this one, this driver will have the life, and it is simply running our test case by launching the URL. But this is again a separate variable to this class. This is a separate variable, and it will never going to have any life. So we have to first provide the life. Otherwise, if you see this, this one, it will not able to identify this search box because the driver do not have any life. So it will throw you one null pointer exception. So if I just run this, it should throw one error. If I run like this, so if you come to console, so some error is coming. It is saying null pointer exception, which means driver do not have any life. So first let me give this driver the life. So what I will do, I will create one constructor. So how to create a constructor? Same name as the class name, and here let me provide after this. You can give anywhere. So I will say I will create one constructor, and what I will do, I will create one WebDriver object. Let me give some other name, and here I will say driver equals to, so driver 2. So what will happen if I do like this? Save it, and I will debug it again. And here what I will do, this is our driver object that is having some life, right? Object reference it will have. I will pass that driver object here. Same driver I will pass here. So what will happen if I debug it again?
Sumit, do we need to create constructors for every object?
For every not object,
Object.
for one class, one constructor is sufficient.
Okay. So is it mandatory to create constructor?
See, I am creating the constructor. You can also create method. If you create the method, you have to call with the help of object name. But the advantage of constructor is that it will be called automatically. This is the reason I am creating constructor. You can create method as well, but you have to call every time using home dot object name, right? So now we are on this line, and if you see this driver have the object reference, right? It is not null. So the same driver I am passing to this constructor. You will see for the first time. I will place one debugger here. It will stop here, right? If I just click this. So now you can see we are here. So that driver first come here. So that will also have the life because this variable catch that variable driver reference. And now I'm passing this driver reference to this one, which is having our null value. So if this is the same variable, this one left one. So if I invoke this, you can see now this will have the life. So same driver we are getting here. Now if you say driver, if you try to identify the web element, it will be able to identify. So here also you can see earlier it was coming null, but now this is the driver live. So after that, what we are doing, I am just calling the this one, enter data search box. So here if you say what is the statement, try to resolve it. Driver dot find element, driver dot find. If you see this will have the life again. So the same driver is coming from our actual test case. So I'm saying driver dot find element, and if you see this variable, this one, this is the same step. So if I try to apply driver.find element by .css selector, this will return me one web element. So that web element is nothing but our text box. So once it will return, I am saying return that web element, and once it will return that web element, I will capture that web element here. So this will have the actual text box. So this is the reason I have written like that. So if I just return that, so now you can see this this is returning one web element, this is returning one web element, and I'm capturing that web element here. So if you see this after that, now this is our text box, this is our text box, right? So I'm saying to the text box send some data which is watches. So if I execute this, as of now, no data is present here, but okay, I have refreshed it somehow. It might fail because I've refreshed it. If I try to enter, if I can refresh the page, that is the reason. Let me try to run it. So if I directly run it using this, it should enter watches in our text box. This is entered watches. So test case, all the test cases are passed. Only one test case is there. And after entering the watches, if you want to click on the search button, so again you will use this home object code. So use this home object dot. So if you see this, what is the method name? Search button, right? So if you see this search button, how it is, this is our search button, and I'm saying first identify that search button. So this will identify the search button. So you can give like this, or you can do here only. So once it will give me the search button, after that I will say dot click, because we have to click on the button, not send some data into the button. So if I now run as this test ng test, it will first enter the watches, and after that it will click on search button. So let us wait for this test to finish. So let us first understand before going further that what is the advantage of writing like this. So it should click on search button after entering the watches. So it has clicked on search button because I have provided the all the locator here, all the web elements here. So this is the search button, right? And it is identifying. So you see this is the advantage we get by writing like in the page object design pattern. So if you see this in the normal way, suppose I will create one more test case, or let me not create. If I will not create the test case, like this is one test case, and here if I write driver dot find element by dot CSS selector, suppose I am writing the CSS as hash ID. So for I am talking about this text box. So what is the locator for that? The locator for that is this is the locator. This one. Copy this. Sorry, copy this. So this locator, if I write, what happened if I write here in my test case only every time? So this is save it, and then I will say send keys, right? So I have provided some text here. Suppose this line you are using, suppose only one test case is here, but there are suppose one more class. So can be some random classes test, right? Or let me say Amazon test 2, test number 2. Let's save it. And here what will happen if I copy this whole thing? If I place it here, this is our test case class number 2. And here suppose there is different test case. So test case number 2, some different name I am giving. And here if I am using the same line, right? Earlier what we have done, in this we are just clicking the button as well as sending some data. We are doing two operation here, but here only the operation we are focusing on this, whether we are able to enter some data. So that is fine. But here if you see, suppose in future because these are the websites, these are the big websites. So it might happen that suppose this locator will change in future. Suppose this, if I come here, this text box ID will change in future. So suppose this ID will become, so just assume, so ID will become like, if I suppose ID will become search box. Just assume ID has changed in future. So now the locator will be changed, right? And your both the test case will also fail because this ID is changed in future. So if you written in this way, like providing all the entire data here, you have to first change it here so that your test case will work. First you have to change it here, first one. And what is the second one? The second one is here as well. So now you have to make the changes at two places. Here we are only having two test case, but just assume that if you are having 50 or 100 test case like this. So if that one ID will change, and if you are using that line in each and every test case, now you have to make the changes at 100 places. So that will take much of your time, and it is also not a good practice. So instead of that, what we can do, if I'm using this page object factory page object mechanism, so I will not try this locator here. In future, if I am able to see that some of this data is changed, some of the locator is changed, so I will simply go here. I will simply go here and I will make the change here. So that will going to reflect in all my test case. So you can see earlier we have to change it every place, but now if I am writing in this fashion, so only at one place if you change, it will reflect in all the 100 test case. So it will simply save your much of the time. So this is the one reason you should not hard code all the data in our single test case. Are you able to get this point?
Yeah.
Similarly for others as well. So let us create one more. Like suppose if I'm working on Flipkart, so there is one more website which is
Before we move forward, Sumit, one question.
yeah.
Can you go back to Eclipse? Yeah. So here, this Amazon Home, this class where you have written all the locators.
Mm-hmm.
So this has to be inside this main Java, main folder, like all the tests inside the test folder and this object repository inside the main folder. Is it a rule or what?
See, if you come to their official website, so if you come to Maven official website, Maven, so you can also provide page object in your source test Java, but we will mainly use source test Java to write our test case. So if you come down, there is given one. I hope it is written. So you can see they have provided some data like this. So here they are saying in the test Java folder, provide all the test case. So they have not written. So basically, this is not a rule. If you try to do this in fashion, which one? If you write this one here as well, then also it will work. But mainly we are using this test case uh, for the whatever the test case I will write, I will use it for this. And if I want to write some other like page object I'm writing, and suppose I'm writing one common base class. So base class we will see in the framework lecture. So that base class will also be I will defining here. So all the data which we are using frequently every time we're using the data that will place here, and all the data I will going to place here, right?
Okay.
If even if you write here as well, it will work, but that is not the good option because this is the project they have given for writing the reusable code. So reusable code I'm placing.
Okay. Amazon Home.java, this class under object repository. This is the
So you can change the package name. You can also write this one inside this. That is not a,
this object repository package. This one we created, like you created this one, or it was already there.
so
Okay.
earlier this was already there, this was already there when I created the hash. This I have
So
created.
this is the default which is created, Selenium page object model design pattern. So this is the default one. Can we create the class Amazon home.java inside this default package?
Yeah, I will create. So if I copy this, I will paste the same file. Some other name, that's why I've written like this. So if I delete it, now you have to change import statement. So this class is earlier this class is coming from this package, but now this class is coming from this package. So you have to again import that, right? So this import will not work. So instead of that, you have to write this name. So let me import again. So if I come down, so my import statement is not coming. Okay, so it is come automatically. You can see it is coming from Selenium page object model design pattern. So if I right click run as Java application, it will work. Sorry, not Java application. So some error is coming. So this is one error coming. So again, you have to change the import statement here. Now it is coming from this one, right? So save it. If I run it like that, run as test.
Did you import that? Like, did you write that mention
See, here no need to
that
import the
statement?
package, because if you see this one,
Mhm.
these are the same, exactly same name. That is the reason no need to import. Automatically it has taken. Earlier the packages name are
Okay.
different. So yeah,
Mhm.
now
Okay.
that will run in the same way. I need to give the better name, because we are just saying that all the objects you will find inside this class, but this name is not looking good. So that's why I have it there. Is it clear? It is, I think, finished. So if you
Sumit,
now
so you didn't mention right?
you
The
did
second time, when you changed no, you copied that file from object repository to page object model design pattern package, right?
hmm.
So it automatically declared the package there. How
See,
how did it do? Like
earlier,
you remove?
yeah. If you see this class earlier, this name is here. So both the packages name are different, right? But if you see this name and this name, they are exactly same. You can see this.
Okay,
So that's why it has
yeah.
automatically taken. If I change this name to some other name, like if I change, it should throw the error. If I give some other name like object, let me give this name. If I click OK, now the packages name are different. It should throw the error, and we have to manually click the import statement so that it can import all the class files from this package. So it is taking some time. So click on continue. So you can say it has this time. If I remove this, now you can say error is coming. We have to import that because the packaging name sign are different. Is it clear?
Oh, okay, got it. Got it.
Someone is saying something, but the voice is not clear. So you can write in the chat box if you have any query. So again, it has automatically taken here. So okay. So if I save it, like suppose we are working on Flipkart. Suppose there is need of one more test, but that is of different website. Like if I say cricket bus, let me not take Flipkart. If I say this one, so for this website, what I have told, there are so many web elements. So many web elements are listed here. So if you want to perform any operation, just do not define every web element inside our test case. So let me write one more test case. So let me create class. So this is totally different. So I'm creating a class. It was test one. I will copy the common code, copy this, and this is our class. Copy the code. So now the same, let me change the name. So this will be same, this will be same, this will be same. No, this will not be same. Let me change it to. Now I will place that URL here. So this is my cricket buzz. So now this will simply, if I run it like this, it will open it will run this one test case in this file. So if it run, let me close all the previous. So it has opened cricket bus. If I want to perform, suppose if I want to click this or click this any web element here, if I want to click on live score, so try not to write each and every data here. First create the page object. So let me create one more page object. So what you can do, you can create one class. So it was home. So this is our home page. So I'm defining like this, it was home. And here, let me copy this. I will change the name later. So I will place it here. So let me change like, so this is, let me create, as I've told that you can also create the method for initializing a driver, but the advantage of constructor is that you do not have to create the object. So if you do not need to create the object, it will invoke automatically. So this line will be same again. And suppose I want to click on this. So inspect it. Yeah, guys, give me a minute. Let me just change my room because noise is coming a bit more. Give me a minute. Okay, so where we were? Okay, so for the cricket bus homepage as well, I will write the, like if you see here, I want to click on live score. So title is this. So let me take the title. Let me write XPath this time. So title equals to so this is our unique XPath. So if I want to perform any operation on this home page, I will write live score, and here I will say XPath this time. We are using XPath, so let me write XPath. So here just remove this live score. And here I will say live score because I want to click on this, so I will use this method. So this is my cricket bus test case. Here what I will do, I will first create the object of this cricket bus home. Equals to new. I am creating the object so that we can use that methods of the class. So let me pick bus. So spelling is wrong. So it is pick bus. So now it is throwing one error. The error is I am saying that this cricket bus home class have one constructor. You have to provide driver here, then the error will be resolved. Now this will be resolved. And here if I say home dot live score. So once you will get the web element, you have to click on that web element. This is it, right? So I will click on that. It will open some other link. So if I try to run this, let us see what will happen. So let me click it manually from here. So if I click this live score, it will navigate me to some other page, right? So here it has navigated me to some other page. So now for that, this page as well, for this page as well.
Hello,
Yeah,
no Prasad here.
that's right.
But for live cricket and other Amazon also use the same object, home object.
What you are saying?
So can you send
Right.
the code?
So
Eclipse. Yeah. ClickBuzz home equal to new ClickBuzz home. In that home is the one variable, correct? This is one object.
yeah.
Same object you use in Amazon also.
No. Same object is not there. This class is
Can you show me?
defined, so the scope of this variable is only within this block. See, what I'm trying to say.
One second. Okay, can you show me that? Okay, walk. Okay, next one. Amazon.
If I write cricket this line here, then that will be the issue. But these are the separate classes, so that is not an issue. So if I write
Okay.
the same thing here.
Okay. One more thing. Now we have written three test cases, correct?
Sorry.
So now we have written three test cases.
Yeah.
Suppose I have three test cases. We need to like this code only.
We need to.
We need to write the code like this. Now we have three test cases. If you have the 50 test cases, you have to write these classes like this.
Like this at the rate test.
No. Here classes.
Yeah.
Amazon test. Amazon test.
If you want, like we have 50 test cases of Amazon, like if you have 50 test cases of Amazon, so if you want, you can write each and every test case by providing at the rate test, or if you want, So that is according to the client requirement, how the client wants, how your team
Okay.
wants. So it is not a rule that you have to create the class. You can write each and every test case, like this is the Amazon test case number 2. Like if you want to create third test case, so you can say Amazon test case number 3 inside this class. So that will run.
Okay. Or else we can use the module name. In the module name, we can write the test one, test two, test three like that.
So that is up to you. Here I have written like this. That is again your choice how you want to write the name. But the
Okay.
write the name in such a way that even if some other person will try to look your code, he will understand that okay, this is the
Mhm.
customer's test case and this is the Amazon test case.
Okay.
So your choice how you want to write. So what I'm
Okay.
going
I got it. I got it. I got it.
so here you can see it has opened this uh, website, which is this one, which is live score. After I just clicked on this live score, so what I mean to say, in future, if you want to perform any operation here, if I, so this is a separate web page. So for this web page as well, for this web page as well, provide one more object repository. How we can provide? So like this web page, live score page is there. So earlier it was home page, now it is live score. So for each and every web page, we are going to maintain the web element in the some other file. So this is basically we are designing in the page object pattern, we are calling it. So again for this web page, what we will do, earlier it was created as home page, but after clicking the web page is changed. So for that web page as well, I will create some other page object repository like this. So provide this. So this will be live score. Same name as the class. So what is there? Live score page. And here in the live score, whatever the operation you want to perform. Suppose I want to, this is our live score page. If I click it, this is our live cricket score. If I want to click on this recent, click on the recent. So for the recent web element, again I will write the web element in some other file, separate file. So let me take this title. So Control F, Control F. Let me write XPath A at the rate title. So this is our XPath. Copy this. I need to click on this. So this for that some other. I think the web page is same, but this is changing below part. So what I do, I will say by recent. What is this recent? Recent score recent. So recent text. So here I will say for each and every web page, we are maintaining a separate class file. We are calling it as the page object repository because it will have all the web element of that particular web page. And after that, we are creating public method for each and every web element. For each and every web element, we are creating uh, public method so that we can call the methods and access the. We have to click on that. So let me give this like this name. And here I will say recent. So after that, if I this is our test case if you remember, cricket bus. After I clicked on this, which one? Live score. So when the website will launch, I will click on live score and I will reach to this live score page. So for that page, suppose I want to click on recent. So for that I have maintained separate page object file, which is this one. So let me now create the object of this one so that I can access this method and click on the recent tab. So here in this method only, I will now create other other class object which is live score. So the same thing we are going to do in our framework part as well. Live page. So give some name new And I will copy this here. So import the package. So again it is throwing error because it is saying first pass me this driver object because you have declared one constructor provided driver. So we already seen that why we are providing, otherwise it will give you null pointer exception. So you can debug that later. How I have debugged. So after that you can say live page dot. So what is the recent text click? So this is the method name, just the method name. I have to use dot click method as well so that we can click on that. Now if you see this, run as, you can see this, we are not writing any locator here, right? So the code readability is also improved. Here just I'm saying that after opening the Cricket Buzz homepage, just click on live score. So anyone can understand that that person is clicking on live score, like the person is clicking on this text. So the readability is also increased. Otherwise, if you have written driver.find element, all the people cannot understand if they are not much familiar with the Selenium. So it is better way to write in this style only, so that readability will improve, and we are again, you can see we are reusing the code as well. You can see this one. If I say uh, let us wait for that to finish, then I will show. It will click on live score, and after that on the resend button it will click. So after that it will click on resend. So you can see it has also clicked on resend tab. So is it clear to everyone how we are writing our page object?
Sumit,
Yeah.
yeah, under repository, you have created three repositories, correct?
Yeah.
So, is it possible to create the single repository for entire project?
Single repository in the sense?
Like you have created the three files here, three classes.
I am saying
Amazon
page
Home,
object model says, see, what page object model says,
uh-huh.
page object, let me write, page object model says that for each and every web page create a separate class file and provide all the required. So this is the reason I'm creating separate file, because
Okay.
for each and every web page, web element will be different. So I will be very sure that this is the Amazon homepage, this is the live score page of the Cricket Bus. So that's why I'm designing different. So better way to define different for, like if you have 10 web page, so how many, if I say this here, if I click on this, so that will be again a separate web page. This will be, so what are the, how many web pages you will require, create separate class and provide the web element. Is it clear?
Okay.
We have
So
discussed, yeah.
yeah, so can you go back to that any of the object model where you are declaring the constructor?
Here,
Yeah, so this one. So what is the other thing which you are saying? We have to either we can declare a constructor or we
yeah.
can declare a method.
See,
Yeah?
method in the sense, like if I say this is, if I create method, so
Okay,
if
okay.
I void,
Yeah, so I'll just complete, then you can explain. So can we, I mean, inherit this, like extends and then say the other class name?
can
Will
we,
it work? Can we do inheritance here?
see,
Can we?
inheritance we will definitely do, but as of now we are discussing only page object. So once
No,
framework
no,
will be
no.
designed, we will discuss.
So instead of this driver equal to driver to constructor, can we inherit and then driver would be available? Is it? I mean,
Yeah,
is it okay or
yeah.
is it not like?
Is it okay? It is okay. So here
Okay.
To that inheritance concept, we will use one base class. So base class will have this driver object. As of now, base class is not there. So we will all our tests we will going to extend our base class. So driver will be available, right?
So we are not using driver to anywhere. I mean, here it's only when the web driver to, and we are
See, you can
assigning driver to driver. So that is all. I mean,
you can also do
for
like
this
this.
driver.
If you say driver,
Okay.
I have taken different name. There is a reason. If this driver, then there is the confusion. Confusion in the sense this one is same local class variable and this variable is also same. So if you try to run that, you will see that it will not run. So I think this we have discussed in Java part. If you want to differentiate the local and the class variable, you have to provide this keyword. So if you do like this, now this is your this variable and this is your local variable. So I have given the name different so that we do not have to use this key. You can also do like this. So basically,
Okay.
so that whatever the whatever the driver which we are providing here, which we are using this driver object here. We are using this driver object here. If I pass the driver object here, so if I go inside, that driver object will fall here, and this will be assigned to this driver, so that null pointer exception error will not come. We have already debugged this. That if you do not use this constructor, so you will get a null pointer exception. Is it clear?
Yeah, yeah, Sumit. Thanks.
So if you have any confusion, just put the debugger here and just try to debug. You will be very clear with each and every step. So there is one more page object. We have discussed page object. There is one more pattern which is called as page factory, which is, let me write here. Let me take this test case as the example. So if I open this is about how our page object mechanism tells us to do. So there is one more which is the extension of page factory. So what is this page factory? Uh, what I will do. So let me not give this as of now to avoid any confusion. Just give some other name. Okay. So what I will do in the page factory. So basically, page factory is a class. So page factory is a class, and it is more optimized. So I'm not saying that it is faster. Both will do the same thing. Page factory and the page object mechanism will both will do the same thing. So in the page object mechanism, we are using by class. We are using by class in our page object mechanism, POM mechanism, page object model mechanism. But in the page factory, it is a class and it is more optimized than page object model. So in the page factory, we are page factory. If I am talking about now, I am talking about page factory. So I will say one annotation which is find by. This is the annotation we are using in page factory. And suppose I am talking, if I talk about this one, or let me do, suppose if I'm using XPath, let me take, okay, so we are working on this search box. I will now convert this entire file into the page factory mechanism, page factory way. So in the page factory, we have to use this find by annotation. So import this. And here I will say CSS. So we are working on CSS as of now. So copy this CSS. So this is the CSS and provide the CSS here. If I write XPath, let me just write in this same. So provide the CSS and here what you will say web element. This is the web element. Copy this and this one. So now, okay, so now it is not required. Similarly, I will convert all the. So here what it is saying that find this web element search box. Find the web element which is having this CSS and place it into this search box. So this is what we are basically saying. Similarly, for this second one, if I write, this is our search button. So for the search button, this is the one. And what is the CSS? CSS will change. This is our CSS. So now this is not required. Similarly, for the third one, we are using find by annotation in case of PageFactory. You can see we are just reducing some of our code. Right, this single line is doing this single line is finding the web element, and we also do not require to write like this. So again, if you see this one, go with the CSS. So write like this: CSS equals to, so what this, and here I say web element, which is mobile. So this is also not required. So this will not required, but here method will definitely, we are going to require the method. But now how we have to, just I will say, instead of giving this whole line, I will say return this search box. So it is just basically more optimized way of writing our. So both will do the same operation. Just like if I say for the search button, I will debug this. Do not worry. Once we will write the code, we will debug the program. So now I'm returning search button. Similarly, for the third time, I will return the mobile. So instead of giving this entire line now, I'm saying return mobile. So save it. So now this is basically our page factory mechanism. So in the page factory, we are using find by annotation. I'm just saying, if I talk about this one, find the element that is having the CSS selector, which is this one, and place it on that web element. Place it on this search button. So once it will be available, once I will call the method, you are going to return this web element. So again, the return type will be this one. So yeah.
Okay, so we will not use CSS selector, like we need to write CSS selector every time. So we just write CSS, right?
Yeah, you can write CSS only. Similarly, for the XPath, you
Uh,
do not need to write. So I'm not very sure. XPath, I definitely say. Let us check if there is the issue, we will change it. I remember that it is only CSS only as of now. So if you see this, I come down, I will debug the program. So Amazon homepage, this is, but still we are not using this class. Still we have not used this class. This is a class in class. Page factory is a class. As of now, we are not using it, but you will get to know soon how we have to use it. So let me come here and debug the program. So if I, okay, I think this is our test case, which will have on the click button and send keys. So if I debug this, debugger is also here. So you can see it is showing this way. So I think CSS is correct here. That is not an issue. Otherwise, you will not get this. So it is, we started the debugging our program. Now Amazon website is open. Creating the object and initializing the driver object. So now we are here. So if I click this, now this driver got the live because driver 2 is coming here from our actual test case and passing our driver here. So if you see this, as of now, all these all are not invoked at all, right? Which means if it is not invoked, what will happen? All the web element will have null. As of now, null is present here. And if I just simply run any of the, like if I talk about this one, after that, again control will come here and I am calling this method. I am calling this method. So if I run like this, now we are here. But as this is having the null, again you are returning null, and your test case will fail. If I run it, this will again have the null. So now you will not see any data entered into this text box. So if I run it, you will not see data. So it throws one error. So your test case basically will fail because you are getting null. So there is one class which is called as the page factory. Where is our actual this one. So in our, you can say this one. If I write after this, after initializing the driver, if I write page factory dot init element. So this init element is a method. Here I will say I want to initialize the driver. If you do like this, what will happen? If I debug it again, earlier we were getting none, right? If I debug it again, where we have to debug? No, this one. Debug this again after adding one more line. Now we will stop here. So if I run it, now this line. As of now, null is there. Again, null, we are getting null value, right? But if I run this line will going to basically these all the three which you have defined here, that will run. You can see here after that, as of now none. But if I run it, basically it is finding the web element. So now it has finded all the web element, which means it has identified the search box, it has identified the search button, it has also identified the mobile. The mobile in the sense that mobile one, which what is it? It is a mobile, right? So now it has identified all the web element. Now if I run this one search box, so it will return me the search box web element. Now if I return it, I will get it there in this box. Now this is our search box. Now I'm sending watches. So now this time you will see watches will be entered here. So this line you have to give. So that is page factory is a class that will help us to initialize all our find by annotation. So if I run this, now you will see watches will be present here. So what I mean, you have to, if you are using page factory, provide this single line, which is this page factory dot init elements. Is it clear? So this is basically, you can use page factory as well if you want. So it is, I can say that it is more simpler than this one, because you can see this is finding, this single line will actually finding the web element, and here just we are returning the web element. Is it clear to everyone?
So, Sumit, without that is without page factory that init elements, the add find by is of no use. Correct. Even if I'm writing it there, it will identify only if I give the init elements.
Yeah, this is basically this line is basically initializing all your running all your find by. If you do not provide, it will not run and you will get none. So no use of that, if no use of these three if you do not provide that line. So they can ask you in the interview as well, what is the difference between page factory, what is the difference between page object and page factory. So you can say that in the page object we are using by class to identify the web element. We are using by class to identify the web element, but in this page factory we are using find by annotation. We are using find by notation to identify our web element, and page factory is a class. This page factory is a class. If you see this is a class, right? So it is a class. We can tell these two things, which makes the difference clear. So it is not that which is faster and which is not faster. Both are doing the same thing, just way of writing is different. So I hope it is clear.
Yes, Sumit.
Yeah.
So let us discuss one more small topic. Then, so this is all about page object and page factory. This is the same thing we are going to discuss in our framework lecture as well. So
So we don't use Maven to run the Java programs, run these programs, test cases.
you can run if you are see. Actually, there are the people from the weekday batch as well because their Maven is not covered. So that's why I have not done like that.
Mhm.
So once we will discuss
No, I mean,
Maven.
my question was like idea to use Maven is only for this page object model and page factory model, or is there any other advantages of using Maven as well? Like,
See, the
you know,
advantage of using Maven is that. So tomorrow we will discuss Jenkins. So in the Jenkins, if I am using Maven, there also I will going to use the Maven. So that will help us to trigger our test case with very easily. So that's why we are using. And if you see this Maven, the reason why I am using it, we do not have to set the all the jar files one by one. Just providing the lines and it will do the work, right?
yeah,
If you are using on
yeah, yeah, yeah.
otherwise you have to manually right click the project and go to build
Yeah,
path and
import
import.
the single jar. Yeah.
So you can also use that. Again, I'm saying this is according to your whichever company or the project you are working in. So whatever there is
Mhm.
requirement, we have to go in that way. So it is not a rule that why I'm not using it. So tomorrow we will use when we will discuss Jenkins. As of now, right? So
So, yeah, yeah, yeah. Good. So I was saying like, I need to ask like, to use test ng, like when we right click and you like to run as a one test ng program. So to get that option, need to import no from Eclipse Marketplace. You said
so
something like
for
that.
that we have to do two things. First, if you are working on test engine, provide this. If you do not provide this, if you do not provide this,
Test ng.
so that your code will not work. And after that, if you want to get this option, sorry, not this one. If you want to get this option, this one, and if you want to
Mhm.
get this option as well, convert to testing the XML. So XML we will discuss later. So I think in the weekend batch we have discussed. If you want to get these two options, we have to
Test
first go
ng.
to
Okay.
it is Windows, sorry, Eclipse Marketplace. And here you will see if you type test ng, one plugin will come. You have to install that plugin, then you will be able to see the option. Otherwise, you will not see.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. So I'm trying to go to my that Eclipse Marketplace. It's showing error. So do I need to reopen Eclipse or like reinstall Eclipse?
So we will see. Just tell me, right?
Okay. Okay.
So you have to download. If I search test ng, let me show the test ng. You will get. So now you have to download this one, test ng for Eclipse. Then you will see this will work. Sorry, you have to install that. Just click on next, next. After that, it will ask you to restart your Eclipse IDE. So restart the IDE, and then you will be able to see all the. So let us see one more. Like suppose there is one. I have created one Excel file. So if you open this, so suppose if I want to read the data from our Excel file, so I prepared one data, dummy data. Sometimes your data is present into the Excel file, but if you want to get that data into your test case, so how? So this is our Excel file. So what is the data? So first row will have some name. This is our occupation of each and every person. So whatever the salary they are getting, this is the salary, right? And this is the company, so which they are working on. So suppose this is some dummy data. I want to get that data into my test case. So which means how I am going to read the Excel files. So if you want to do this, where it is,
Sumit,
yeah,
is it okay if we'll continue tomorrow?
okay,
Because we
okay,
explained a lot of things today.
so we will discuss this topic tomorrow along with Jenkins. Okay,
Yeah, because you explained a lot of things will confuse.
yeah, okay,
This is the main thing because this is the parameterization you are going to explain.
yeah, little bit, okay,
Huh?
yeah, okay,
So we
okay.
will
So we
start
will
tomorrow.
not an issue. We
Just
will
discuss
discuss
with the
tomorrow.
team, no?
Yeah, you are right. So we will discuss tomorrow. So till that you can
At
do
what
one.
time?
So same time.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Ask the remaining persons.
Yeah, okay. So
Okay.
guys, thank you so much for attending. We will discuss all the thing today. So you can practice page over it till now.
But tomorrow concept is how to get the values from Excel file. Correct?
Yeah, tomorrow we will discuss and Jenkins as well. First we will discuss Jenkins, then we will see the remaining.
Okay.
Please
Okay.
upload video as well as for the.
Sorry.
Please upload video as well as for the.
Yeah, within an hour I will upload.